I'll take it. All right. Well, welcome back, everybody, to part 2 of our part 3 parts, I think.
Probably four.
Okay, never mind. 4 apparently. Yeah. I am your host, Price, with Mason, Nathan, and Dylan, and we are getting through the second part of the first round right here. If my voice is already sounding kind of kaput, it's because I was yelling at them too already in the first part. If you would like
check out part 1 for a moment.
If you would like to see that, go to probably about 10 minutes in. It's Brothers versus Nightcrawlers. Woo. Nightcrawlers, sorry.
Nightcrawlers. Him and Always Sunny.
Yeah. It just subconsciously comes to me. So we have Mason, our moderator / opinion giver, who has our bracket pulled up. And our announcer. So, Mason, take it away.
So on our other half of our 60-14 team battle, we
bracket
have...
in the description below if you want to follow along. It's right down here.
Yeah, just right here. We have a 1 seed of Prisoners versus Raw, which is probably the crowd least favorite.
Yeah, can I just go ahead? I'm just going to go ahead and grab the reins on this.
Can we just do Prisoners? Yeah. We don't have to talk about Raw if you don't want to.
We insist. I want to beat up on Raw a little bit here.
Right.
Objectively, a really well-composed movie. One of Mason's favorites.
For some reason.
I just watched it again.
We know.
Something's wrong with this man.
He's a sick motherfucker, this man.
Go back to our Brothers Nightcrawler discussion if you want to learn more.
This movie was so hard to watch that I was getting sick to my stomach having to cover the screen and at multiple points thought to myself, I don't have to continue watching this. I probably shouldn't continue watching this. I should just turn this off. Nobody's making me do this.
There could be repercussions.
Stop! It's already dead. Prisoners is going. Just continue.
Meanwhile, on the other hand, we've got Prisoners, which, I mean, who doesn't love Prisoners?
It's an incredible movie.
What an amazing
Prisoners.
It's so good.
All right, we're moving on. I'm sorry, Mason. They're both your picks, so you should be happy.
Yeah. Shout out to Marina, who's maybe watching this video, and she understood that Raw is pretty exceptionally good at what it does. The problem is it's too exceptionally good.
Man,
my only piece.
It doesn't matter. Prisoners is winning.
Raw is good. Watch Raw.
Now here's a fucking fight right here, guys. Here's teeth out fight.
We have Rain of Fire and Cabin in the Woods, which is it is a pretty good matchup. The genres are not too far apart.
I don't know. I'm
gonna go first.
Mason, go. If you know, please
Cabin
go.
in the Woods is one of my just all-time, I would suggest it to anyone type movie. I mean, I think that it's campy on purpose.
Yeah.
It's written on purpose the way that it is. The casting is a little bit dull, honestly, but
Chris Hemsworth is sweet.
It's the only person.
Yeah, but everybody else is just the stereotypes for their characters,
and he
which is what they're supposed to be.
They're all supposed to. Yeah, that's the point.
They're all stereotypes.
So
like
much
casting...
of this movie is on purpose for what it's doing.
It's in on its joke, which
is
the best part about it.
It has one of the best scenes in cinema towards the very end. I mean, I cannot rate it. Rain of Fire is great, and it was a cool ride, but it was nothing compared to Cabin.
I mean, you want to talk about a great piece of cinema.
That's about the ride, though.
Yeah.
That's the motorcycle.
Mm-hmm. That can't top the monster buttons.
The monster mash scene is pretty fucking
just the raw intensity.
But I just gotta say,
it's
pretty sweet to watch a man with a battle axe jump off of a tall building and try and kill a dragon.
Hey, with his attitude too, man, he was confident.
That was Matthew McConaughey, guys.
Yeah. Like, that's the other
can I bring that back up?
Bald.
Is Matthew McConaughey looking jacked out of his mind and nothing like Matthew McConaughey, and not generally playing the kind of character that he has ever really played.
No.
I'm going to have to do a top 10 anime betrayal here because I'm actually siding with Mason on this one.
Wow.
Well, Cabin in the Woods is just... I'm doing my second pitch because there are actually people on the fence for believe it or not.
They're both so good.
Cabin in the Woods is parodying itself and could be easily seen as just it's just doing a parody. It's just kind of scaping it off to the side. But the movie also has this undercurrent of people literally underneath them trying to keep the Satan appeased so he doesn't eat the world. That is so far out of left field, and you don't really know what's going on. You're just kind of the whole time scratching your head I totally understand the Chris Hemsworth part I don't understand the stepbrother's dad part.
But they also do a good job of making you root for them too, especially at that point where he's like running and trying to like fix the wiring and stuff. It's like you're hoping that he manages to do that.
Yeah, like you want them to stay locked in that box, but at the same time, you're also rooting for the characters that are locked in that box.
Right.
I mean, they do a very good job.
It's just a lose-lose situation overall for all parties.
Everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I have to give it to Cabin in the Woods after a long debate.
Ultimately, I do too.
But it is damn. Go watch Rain of Fire again. It is so much more fun than you think it is.
Don't have high expectations, but
low bar.
Prepare to be surprised by a movie that's about dragons and a post-apocalypse.
The dragons were sweet.
It's longer than it should be, though. So if you have a low tolerance for long movies like I do not watch it. The concept is very interesting, but it is so long.
You could watch.
It does not need to
like the first 15 minutes, and then like skip ahead 20 minutes, and then probably get in, and you're not gonna miss too much on that one.
Yep.
All right, our next matchup is Megamind versus Blade Runner 2049. It's a 5 versus 12, and believe it or not, Blade Runner is the 12.
That fucking offends me to no end. But
I mean, we all liked Megamind as like just generally across the board, whereas like I just wasn't a fan of.
I didn't like the second Blade Runner.
I wasn't too big a fan either.
That's something that I still am very surprised by.
I'm shocked that he was so much hotter on the first one.
Yeah. I wasn't a lot hotter, but I definitely liked it. It was like The Fifth Element, but like weird. And the second one did have Jared Leto. It had Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling in it.
Anna de
Armas steals the whole movie.
I could look at anybody on the second one, but it was just so dark and so slow. God, the second one felt like it was 6 hours long, and that just pissed me off.
It was a good 240.
All right, so I am Megamind. You two are Blade Runner.
Absolutely.
I'm Megamind.
I'm Megamind too.
I'm gonna burn my biscuits on this tiebreaker, but we're gonna go to whoever. I don't know whose turn it is. I've lost track.
Who wants to pipe up?
It's probably Annabeth.
Annabeth.
I mean, there's.
I'm making you cookies.
No way.
Oh, sweet! You're making us cookies.
Yeah.
All right. Also, Megamind or Blade Runner 2049.
You're spiking the audio.
Wait. What's the thing?
Oh, this will be a treat.
Blade Runner 2049 or Megamind.
I haven't seen either one of them, but
Which one would you rather watch?
I'm gonna go with Blade Runner because I've seen like images of how cool the visuals look.
Oh yeah,
the visuals are stunning.
It looks really cool.
If nothing else, we should say for even comparing, like this is when the tiebreaker thing where we said if we have to be critical about it and say that like which is objectively a better movie, it's
I'll concede you that. Even though I definitely don't agree, I like Megamind a lot more. Blade Runner has a way higher pedigree and is more important for cinema as a whole.
Yeah, that matchup in particular is an unfortunate one because
they're so different.
Megamind is good. Like I really was surprised by how much I enjoyed Megamind, but
get your body gloves on.
It can't beat Blade Runner.
It's true. It's true.
To be fair, I feel like I would enjoy Megamind more, but I just feel like Blade Runner's probably better.
You'll get ridiculed if you die without having watched Blade Runner.
I'll give that one to Blade Runner. I'm fine with that.
The next one is a 4-seed Train to Busan versus a 13-seed Foxcatcher. Dylan, would you like to start?
No, just do it.
Piece of shit. Fuck you, bad movie, trash. Get Foxcatcher out of here. Let's get on the train.
This is like the only time you get to dump on Foxcatcher. Just like that was the only time I got to dump on Raw because it was going away.
Fuck this movie. Fuck all of that movie. And you know what? Fuck you, Steve Carell, for being such an exceptional actor.
I would still give the nod to Foxcatcher, but I'm totally fine with Train to Busan winning. I love
Train to Busan is such a good movie. Like,
Asian kill Asian now. Like that's it. That's
it's so refreshing to see a movie about zombies that was good.
That was good and foreign and like not. Which, we were just talking about
Shout out
Spanish.
to the Resident Evil series. I see you, all 9 of you. I enjoy all of you.
Not only is it a solid zombie movie.
I watched, I think, the third one, and it gave me a headache.
I
seldom get a headache watching a movie, but I got a headache.
It's kind of like Fast and Furious, where like the first one's good, and the second and third are kind of like petering, and then they like just really fly into their genre, and they start having fun with themselves.
Did you get more or less of a headache from Paprika?
And next up on the list.
So We may talk more about Train to Busan later.
Yeah.
But the next matchup is Captain Fantastic at a 3 seed versus the 14 seed being John Malkovich.
John Malkovich. Right?
I hate to see it happen to Malkovich.
Malkovich.
But we're pretty sure that Malkovich doesn't move.
I'm the only one on Malkovich here.
I genuinely didn't like John Malkovich.
I genuinely did enjoy it. I thought the weirdness of it, I thought it was so endearing.
I'll never be able to forget John
enjoy
Cusack's awful puppetry weirdo guy.
Yeah,
I hated that.
I do agree that was incredibly detracting from this movie.
His hair was like down to his shoulders.
Which is
just
like
a
I enjoy
greasy...
it when the protagonist is also the antagonist because like John Cusack is awful. He's a terrible person.
I mean, Cameron Diaz isn't any better either.
No,
she wasn't even Cameron Diaz.
No, yeah.
Like, I didn't even notice it was
for 99% of the movie. I'm like, wait a fucking minute.
What is this, and how do I know her?
This is Cameron Diaz who just did The Mask, right? Who was like incredibly attractive in The Mask, and then she kind of dipped. Well, Charlie's Angels, she brought it back, but then she dipped again. Anyway, Captain Fantastic. It has to go to Vigo. He hangs dong in that movie. That's all I need to say about that.
Obviously. Our next one might get a little saucy, though.
Ooh.
Casino Royale versus 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. It's a 6 versus.
I'll take the lead because I'll tell you right now, these are both of my movies. And I will say this. 3 Billboards is probably the better movie. It does a lot more. But Casino Royale fucking slaps, dude. Like, that is if you're like, I don't give a shit about Bond movies. Cool. Neither did I. Go watch Casino Royale. It is so good and how it uses its action to be both a narrative storytelling driving piece to sit there and show and use characters in such a unique way. I don't think any of the other Bond movies since Casino Royale has even excelled in the same way for me. But Casino Royale is like, it's so good. It's so good. And these are between 2 of my movies. So I'm giving to Casino and I likely am going to share that sentiment as well.
Well, so for me, it is a very tight race.
Oh yeah, it's close.
I think Casino Royale is overindulgent in too many scenes and spends too long where it shouldn't, whereas 3 Billboards tells a very interesting and novel story and executes on it so well.
It uses its time much better than Casino for sure. Yeah. Like, not even close.
So for me, it's got to be 3 Billboards.
Go ahead, Bryce.
No, I want to go last this time.
Okay. I'm going to go Casino Royale. These are great points. I do think that 3 Billboards is a better story, and it's a passion that the main character has that drives her forward, which is great. For days after that movie, I was just getting more mad at Sam Rockwell's character and how just Sam's belligerent he was. Like,
I mean, he's a piece of shit.
I couldn't just live with that and be like, yeah, he was definitely a cop. This totally makes sense. Like,
but shouldn't that be a positive for the movie though?
No, because I don't think he exists. Like, I really don't think that someone gives him a gun and a badge. Anyways, Casino Royale.
You haven't been to the same
I know, and that was the argument. That was the same argument.
And the same time we watched it too, where we're like, small town is a good
Casino Royale, Dylan, you said it perfect. It's a Bond movie that's not too much Bond. It's very nice. It's got Mads, whatever his name is.
Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, he's awesome. The poker layout, the whole.
Yes. The poker's so fun to watch.
Aston Martin, I think it was. I mean, everything about that movie.
Mason hates seeing that Ashton flip.
Yes.
It's in it for 10 seconds, and 7 of those seconds it's flailing in the road.
So stupid. Those things are made not to flip, and they just fucking flipped it. Anyways, it's Casino Royale. I think it's just such a good movie, and I will probably never watch another James Bond movie.
Regardless of what Price says, go watch 3 Billboards. It's a great movie.
I mean, it's good. It won some awards, and Woody Harrelson's character in it is incredible. He was my favorite part of the whole movie.
It may be Woody Harrelson's best performance.
Now, no spoilers, but like how it ended, I was like, damn, sweet. Yeah. Like, that is incredible that they were able to do that. Like.
That's not what I was thinking when that happened.
He said, damn, I'm like,
yes.
But they use it so well. They use it so well. But anyway,
that was my favorite scene in the movie as well.
Oh, by
far.
Yeah.
I know the one you're talking about.
So
even though I've been speaking praises for 3 Billboards, which I did enjoy, it's still...
I'm talking myself.
Didn't enjoy it.
I might go into 3 Billboards, but it's having to
Casino Royale is going to take it for me. I very much enjoyed that movie. It's kind of like I compare it to Inglourious Basterds with the indulgency that Casino Royale kind of has, in that I enjoy it. Like, I want more of that. I forgot what movie you were talking about earlier where you were saying, like it just gives you so much. I can't remember.
Mad Max.
Yeah, maybe. But, like, it just gives me so much of what I want.
No
like
Country.
that awesome free running scene, it goes on for forever. But it's awesome. It's really cool to watch. The poker scene, it's really fun to watch. Like, all of the action scenes are, like, so unique. And I don't know, like, all the camera shots are super cool. I love all the cinematography on it. Like, they go to such cool locations and use them to their fullest. And the story's still engaging. And, again, I think we're all in the same boat that, like, we don't watch Bond movies. But this is the one that we all watch.
But I will watch the hell out of this.
Yeah, because
I would watch that movie again, definitely. It was a fun trip from beginning to end.
All right, Dylan.
So...
Do your worst.
He already said Casino Royale.
I already said Casino.
Oh, did it move on?
No,
Yeah.
it moved.
Okay.
Casino
I
Royale
thought it
takes
was
the
a tie.
tie.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Alright, our next movie is A Scanner Darkly, which happens to be Nathan's very first pick he ever
Yes,
picked.
it is.
Scanner Dark.
Versus Tropic Thunder, which
Which
you
is
might have
crazy.
heard about it.
That Scanner Darkly is
That's
actually
an
the
interesting matchup.
I'm so intrigued that Scanner Darkly is a 7 seed versus Tropic Thunder as a 10 seed. Like, it feels like that should be the flip. Not because I think we're going to vote Tropic Thunder in that, but
I don't think Tropic Thunder will get voted anyway. I'll pitch, but it's not going to win. You can go ahead.
I want to hear what
mean,
your thoughts
I
are.
will say that Tropic Thunder is really good, super funny, such a star-studded cast, and they all do so well. I do like A Scanner Darkly better, and it also has a very star-studded cast as well.
Renata Ryder, Keanu Reeves,
RDJ.
Who's in both
same.
films, so that, RDJ really wins
Oh,
the
yeah.
film.
Good job.
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal.
If you're watching
so,
RDJ, why are you
A
watching?
Scanner Darkly is one of those...
Hi, RDJ.
It's a movie that didn't really get as much attention, and it has a beautiful and weird art style to
Just
it.
the
They
suits.
filmed the entire thing and then redrew every frame over top of the whole filming. And it tells such a strange but engaging story for me about just drug addiction that I think is really well done. It's a very memorable movie.
Go ahead and talk about your favorite scene.
The Sins.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, I mean, the Sins of Freck scene is hilarious. One of these
So
characters is so, like, far strung out on drugs that the radio starts playing, like, a narration of his life, telling him that he's, like, going to pick up wine and, like, getting ready to basically kill himself. And then he's laying in bed with his wine, like, drinking the stuff and just preparing to die. And then some extra-dimensional yellow-skinned being with just a multitude of eyes shows up out of nowhere and it's just like, now I'm going to read The Sins of Freck, and just drops this huge list. It's just starts going like, in the first grade, punched Kelly on the swing set. And it just starts going down the list.
I don't remember
It's
any
so
of that, but
funny.
it's funny.
It's so wild. It's such a sick movie. Like, I'm gonna put my vote in right behind Nathan on this one. I'm gonna go with Scanner Darkly on this. It just does more with.
What are you doing?
Don't worry, I'm going with him.
Make no mistake, I'm going Scanner Darkly. Yeah, Scanner Darkly is just sweet. Like, knowing technically what they did with that film is just so incredibly interesting, and seeing that it actually paid off in spades. And oh my god, the weird suit that they put on whenever they're doing like the investigation stuff and having people be like incognito. Oh, it's so neat.
Also, Alex Jones is in that movie,
Yeah, he is.
which is a really weird thing to
For like
know.
a second.
Yeah.
Like he's
not
in
prominent.
there. He's in there to be himself, to be
Right.
like shouting at the government, and then the government shows up and,
And
kidnaps
takes him off a
right.
van.
Which honestly, best timeline.
My, my only qualm with like A Tropic Thunder was just obviously it's a comedy first and foremost, but mainly like I didn't like the Simple Jack. I didn't like Jack Black's character.
Yeah.
I didn't
There
like
were-
more things in that movie than I did in Scanner Darkly. Plus, Scanner Darkly was a wild ride. I mean you were locked in from the very beginning just because of its, like you said, the illustrations over the top and everything like that.
But Simple Jack is not making fun of mentally challenged people. It's making fun of the fact that like this actor thinks that he is such a big deal that he can pull off such a role and not have it be like making fun of mentally challenged people.
We
The
get
whole
that
thing
it's satire and that he's in on the joke, but it's also like
movie's like satire on top of satire.
Yeah, which is why I enjoy. That's why, like, I feel like
it starts to unwind itself.
I know I fight like a lone battle when it comes to comedy movies because everybody here doesn't think they have staying power for some reason, and I know everybody's like, "Oh no," but like,
we've all got our personal one or two favorite comedies that would probably.
Yeah. But they haven't.
I would put Tropic Thunder up there. Like, this is another situation of an unfortunate matchup.
I totally get why you went Scanner Darkly.
Oh yeah, really good.
Yeah, Scanner Darkly makes sense for you though, because it fits. Like, if I watch that movie, I'd be like, yeah, Nathan would like something like that. It just makes sense. And Tropic Thunder, I think it's unique even among the comedy space because it has one of the most star-studded casts of any comedy that's came out. I mean, even
Tom Cruise is the best part.
Tom Cruise is in it. Matthew McConaughey's in it. Like,
McConaughey's great.
It's just there's so many stars in this movie, and they all act like themselves in a parody manner, which is hilarious, and there are so many jokes from the beginning of the movie all the way to the end that land. But it's a comedy against Scanner Darkly, so
Scanner Darkly wins ahead on that one. What's next on the list, Mason?
Right on.
Well, we have What We Do in the Shadows, the David versus 10 Cloverfield Lane, which might be the Goliath.
Yeah.
More than might be.
Yeah.
All right. This one's gonna be.
I think we all
universe.
agree.
Yeah.
Go watch 10 Cloverfield Lane. That movie's great.
Yeah. So
just cut out the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, Price will tell you that.
Disagree.
every time.
The last 10 minutes are some of the best parts.
The movie forgets it's a Cloverfield movie, and it's great.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, wow. We are Cloverfield.
I don't care that they did that. I watched a great movie and then a funny little weird thing at the end.
A cool tie-in.
And then it
they
ramped
forgot
up
about.
and got even better. But we're not talking about that anymore until it comes back up.
Now, I went ahead and just filled it in. Well, we can talk.
Go ahead and list it off, though, for the fans.
It's the number 1 seed.
Of the new bottom quadrant.
We're on the next one.
What was it?
Your Name.
Yeah, Your Name versus Hereditary.
Your Name being a number 1 seed, Hereditary being a 16
All right, Your
seed.
Name passes.
Yep.
Continue.
Go watch our review of Your Name for even 5 seconds to see how fucking
Hereditary
happy
is
we are.
great. I think
We
it's
have
a,
it.
it's
We
a
don't
great,
have a review.
It's a great horror movie, but
Oh yeah, we don't have a review for
there's
Your
not
Name.
a review for Your Name.
You can't watch it, but trust us, we really like this movie.
So I'm gonna start the next one. I'll go ahead and say the
what's
matchup.
What's the
yeah.
matchup?
Yeah.
It's a 9 seed of Gangs of New York versus Emperor's New Groove at the 8. So it's a very tight
This is a tight.
number.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say my piece first. I don't care.
Are you're sitting out?
No, he's.
I think that's a valid.
I'm fine.
voting.
I'll sit out on this one. I don't
think-
care
I
what
think
passes.
that's fine.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't care what
fine.
passes. They're both good movies, but I don't care.
One of them is like overly long, and one of them's overly short.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just such a weird
that's a fair
matchup.
assessment.
It's just such a weird
It's
matchup.
one of
It's
the
a weird.
weirdest.
Yeah, it
matchups.
is.
Okay, people at home, full behind the curtain thing. We're really just picking who loses to Your Name. Like,
Yeah.
so
That's fair.
let's be honest. We're gonna spoil round 2. Your Name's gonna take the second round on either.
But
game.
we can still have these fun discussions.
I will say,
Get it out.
I'll say this. I would go
Okay.
Gangs of New York because of what's his face's performance, whose name I can remember. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yes.
Daniel Day-Lewis as the Butcher is so good.
Phenomenal.
So good.
I'm giving a very soft vote to Emperor's New Groove, just because I enjoy it so much. It's a fun ride, but Gangs of New York is a really good movie still. That's why it's a very soft kind of vote. Like, I give like 0.75 of my points to Emperor, and then the other one to Gangs.
Admittedly, you could tell me Emperor wins, and I'm probably not too upset by that either. but-
So many of these matchups end up being where it's just like, I don't want to see either of these
Alright.
fail. I don't think either of these deserve.
They're both
to fail.
winners in my book. Like,
they really are.
Consolation prize.
yeah.
I will probably tip it to Gangs of New York because the
Yeah.
performances in that are really exceptional.
Mhm.
It is overly long.
It's-
Don't
yeah.
get me wrong.
Well, it is an
It's-
epic,
it's-
so it
yeah.
kind of makes sense.
It's a fat movie.
The ending is dumb, though.
And the ending's kind of
I think we can agree
The
on that.
ending was silly.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like in the review I also said I'm pretty sure that's a
How it
historically accurate
Yeah.
thing. And
Yeah,
that's
so
why
I
Yeah.
can't fault them
They
for being
basically just
historically accurate.
bombed their own city.
Right.
Yeah.
Our
Anyway,
Oh, well,
next
this is
matchup, here
this
we go.
match is
I like
hot.
that sitting
The
out.
5 seed,
What is it
The
now?
Matrix, and then it's up against Penguin Highway, the 12.
Okay, I want to go first.
There's no way.
Please.
Here's my hot take, guys. Penguin Highway.
Uh,
I fucking love Penguin Highway.
What?
This is
It's good.
Here's the thing, and not
Dylan, you did so good.
Here's the thing, not to say that I don't love The Matrix. All right, guys, let me explain.
Go for it.
I fucking love The Matrix, right? I love Keanu Reeves. Matrix does way more, but here's my weird thing, which is extra funny because this is actually Mason's animated movie pick, right?
No, it was mine.
Was this one yours? I thought this one was Mason.
No, Mason.
Mason picked Penguin Highway.
No, I picked.
Oh, no,
this
you
one,
picked your name.
Yeah, he picked your name. You picked Penguin Highway.
That's what.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because you said
Penguin
that one
Highway
YouTube
was a
person
blind.
was the-
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, never mind.
Yeah, Chris Stuckman. Yeah,
So,
it was
either-
a blind pick for me.
Either way, it's fine. So, Penguin Highway, in a lot of Price's animated movie picks,
Say it one more time.
a lot,
Yes.
almost
A lot.
all of them, is this one little charming little gem that we haven't gone back to talk to, and we don't go back to talk to many of them, but you know, like, we go back to Your Name, and Withering You a lot in our off-the-scenes discussions, but I don't feel like we come back to Penguin Highway, and I remember thinking, I just enjoyed how charming it was.
It was so fun.
Yeah, it was such a fun ride. There's so many fucking penguins. The kids just...
The
They all
tidal
look
wave.
identical.
the title, they all are identical, and it was so quirky and strange and enjoyable. And to say that like it's better than The Matrix is hard, because The Matrix is like phenomenal, and I hear it, like I hear my brain trying to tell me, you idiot, pick The Matrix. Like,
That's us.
yeah,
That's us saying
and that's
that.
probably fair. But I just I need to pick Penguin Highway because it is such an underappreciated gem. And like The Matrix is far from underappreciated. I love it. We all love it here. Go check our review on it. We love it on this one. But I'm going Penguin, man. Like, that's my hot take on this one draft.
I mean, I am going Penguin. I did not enjoy my time with The Matrix. I've only watched it recently.
You suck, Price. I don't care if I agree with you on this opinion.
I've only watched it recently, and it just has not aged well. I know you say like it's a pioneer of the genre and what it does, but it still feels dated at the same time.
The Matrix. Watching it now, having not watched it before, it's obvious that it can't hold up.
And I don't have nostalgia for it in any way. So
Oh,
I was
I
watching
have
it with
nostalgia
completely fresh eyes. Again, I'm not saying The Matrix is a bad movie because it's a benchmark of its genre, but still Penguin Highway is going to get it from me. It's just it's beautifully animated and colored, so it was going to be my vote.
I'm pretty sure it was actually a driving factor in people picking DVDs.
Oh, Matrix. Yeah, it was like the first big DVD
it was
movie
the
one
first
because
big DVD.
it had the extra features and all the other stuff, and like who wouldn't want to watch that in Matrix? So
so
both The Matrix.
Mason.
It's a big deal landmark. I do like I don't disagree with you guys that
I love Penguin Highway.
is
It's awesome.
a really lovely, refreshing.
It's crazy that it's
movie.
actually 12 seed. Like that's
Yeah.
the thing that gets me. I feel like I
that's
remember
true
liking
too.
it a lot more.
But it's The Matrix.
Listen, I know.
Matrix.
I hear it, but Price has brainwashed me to like Penguin Highway.
Yeah,
on this
but
bracket more.
like
I'll be the one to give, so we don't have to have the discussion. I mean, I'll give the nod to The Matrix.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think
I'm not upset about that.
If
there
you
are
told
probably
me,
people.
Dylan, let's be honest. I'm like, all right, fine.
Yeah,
Like,
which is why I'm giving it to him because I was not expecting Dylan to go there. So
There are probably people
Still
who
give
filled
it
out
away.
their brackets that we sent out that actually probably have The Matrix in the top 4, to be honest.
And
it's
they
just one of those.
and honestly, they probably should. The
staying-
Matrix has
Yeah.
so much
Yeah.
power behind it.
it's an objectively like high movie, but I still did not enjoy it.
Now speaking of
These are all
overrated movies-
subjective.
Price, guess what? We
What?
have a 4 seed of The Departed versus Ride Your Wave, the 13.
Just move The Departed on.
Alright.
Yeah.
That's
I get-
we don't want to talk about Ride Your Wave?
I
come
would
on,
love to say
Bryce.
I'll say my swan song for Ride Your Wave. I was-
Kiwi
It better be that
That's
one.
how you sing it.
It was. I've watched that movie 3 times in like 6 months. I love this movie because I hate that like the back of the box spoils
Yeah.
the big twist in the movie
It is.
because I felt like I did not see that coming and I wish it was.
Marina on this.
Honestly.
Go ahead,
Still going?
Yeah, no,
Oh,
you're good,
okay.
you're good.
My
No,
bad.
yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt you all. My
Okay.
bad.
We thought you were done
If
with
you could
that,
not.
that anime movie.
Right.
But Ride Your Wave, it tells a very unique story, and the thing that I like the most about it is that it ends in a realistic way, which most movies, not just animated, but any movie as a whole, like there's usually some neat thing to happen at the end to tie everything up, end everything on like a happy note, and move on. But this is a story about death and how to cope with it, and sometimes like you just don't move on, and like it takes a long time. And this movie acknowledges that and ends the movie on that note, which I love so much, which it ends with them at the tower for Christmas or whatever, with a very haunting scene that persists through the end of the movie, which I really enjoyed. It ends the movie and enjoys the movie on a really high note, because unfortunately 10 minutes prior
The movie
get
shits all over
you
itself.
get a tsunami of water coming from nowhere, and It's so dumb.
In a high-rise building that has a massive tree in it.
Dead tree.
And then they
A
surf
massive dead
the
tree.
water down
they
from the
surf the
top
water
of the
down.
skyscraper and survive. But Dylan, the person was the water. Of course they were going to protect. Fuck you, movie. Fuck you for treating me like I'm stupid. Fuck that way.
Exactly, and I'm not looking at this unbiased. Like, you all know, I hate it when directors are like, "Hey, dum-dum, this is what we're telling dum-dum." And this movie did that, and I despise that.
It's
part
also
of the
going
movie.
up against The
Departed. Right.
Yeah, and Departed's
yeah,
awesome.
We'll just
so.
move on.
Yeah, I just want to say my piece for Ride Your Wave. You're a good movie. I would recommend it, but they wouldn't.
The next matchup is a couple crazy ones. We have a 3-seed Spirited Away versus Silent Hill.
Another 2 movie
It's
picks
a
of mine.
14-seed. A lot of
Spirited
number
Away.
difference.
Yeah.
Don't do your pitch yet. That's Spirited Away. Has to be.
Nathan?
Yeah, I mean, I like
Nathan's the only one who
Silent
would put
Hill.
Yeah,
I
that's
do.
fine,
But Spirited Away is definitely the better movie.
It's so fun to watch.
I want to shout out to Marina, who may or may not be watching this.
You
episode,
shouted her out twice now.
because she appreciates Silent
that
Hill
was
went
good
so far,
cinema.
and Silent Hill is fucking great.
I,
All right,
I
It
picked
is.
Silent Hill, actually.
Like,
I
You know,
actually
that
picked
Silent Hill is beautiful in that it is
No, I can't.
the
Oh
Spirited
my
Away so
god! I was like, nobody's gonna take us seriously anymore.
Silent Hill has one of my favorite songs of all time. Like, you don't understand how much I've
Promise
listened
Remise.
to. Promise
Well,
Surprise?
and
Surprise, that song
it's
is good.
also the exception to the general trend that every video game movie is utter garbage.
Yeah. All right.
I
Grant me that
I
this
still
is-
would say Silent Hill is garbage. I still don't enjoy it.
I love
I
it,
can't
but
do
I said
that.
for me, I did not enjoy it.
but Spirited Away is also probably my favorite Ghibli film, and it does
Yeah.
way more. Like,
Oh, yeah.
if Spirited Away was taken away from cinema, it would hurt. If Silent Hill, I would feel upset, but the big shift in the world wouldn't probably come from that.
All right, they take Silent Hill away, but you get your song.
Okay, I keep that.
Alright, so we spoke of this movie earlier.
Okay.
Hell or High Water at a 6-seed versus Little Shop of Horrors at the 11-seed.
Just move on.
Do it. All
I
right.
Pick Little
Hell
Shop.
or High Water.
It's so fun. It's got such great music in it. The practical plant puppet is so fun.
So
I'll concede
are we
Color.
really moving on? Because I kind of think I would give it to Little Shop over Hell or High
Oh!
Let me
Stay
just-
tuned, folks. All right. So just to clarify, Hell or
Hell or
High
High
Water.
Water. I just watched it on
Think
Tuesday
about the
again.
doctor scene.
Listen, the
I
doctor.
hated
Little
Doc,
Shop.
but I hated like
It was
No,
so
the-
funny.
The dentist scene is phenomenal.
But
And
the dentist gets a lot of time though. Like he gets that awesome song, and then
Listen.
he gets that awesome scene with Bill Murray.
I'm not arguing. Like the Bill Murray and the doctor scene, great. Most of the rest of the movie, kind of annoying to me. So, on the flip side, Hell or High Water.
is an incredible movie from start to finish. I just watched it with Katie a few nights ago, and the
Shout out to Katie.
very beginning, she said, "Is this a Western?" And I said, "Honestly, it kind of is,
Yeah.
but it's really good." At the end, she was like, "I'm really glad I watched that movie. That was a really good movie."
Okay,
Yeah.
but Katie's not
I-
here.
No, that's fine.
I can give it to Hell or High Water, but I just
Okay, there's your
I just
nod.
wanted to be said that Little Shop isn't something
Yeah.
to just be completely bowled over.
Why a Little Shop for you? I'm curious.
I mean, it's mostly just because of the dentist scene and Bill Murray, and that whole performance was hilarious. And a lot of the songs I thought were entertaining. Just conceptually, everything that was going on with this movie and the decade it was in, it's a really solid film.
It is a quirky 80s film that
Yeah.
does punch Nathan's holes, to be fair. But
Punching them holes.
The only thing is, though, you've got Chris Pine, you've got Ben Foster, Jeff Bridges, you've got the guy who was in Twilight, the Native American guy he's in a ton of things. Everyone shines in
No,
this movie.
but-
wow.
But they don't know. But like
The old
Little
waitress?
Little Shop, they're putting on a performance. Like they're putting on an act. They're acting.
And then you also had
No,
Audrey.
but Hell or High Water, nobody I feel like is like, I am putting on a different skin. I am acting. Jeff Bridges is being Jeff Bridges. Chris Pine, I do believe, is putting on a
Ben
performance.
Foster is
Ben
definitely
Foster, I believe, is
on
putting on a performance. That's literally just two of them. Whereas Little
But it's
Shop,
the main
everybody's
two.
acting.
And on the other side of it, though, like I remember my biggest argument with Little Shop of Horrors is that it's a musical whose music I do not like.
I didn't like the
I thought the
music
music
as
was
much.
fantastic.
And Audrey was annoying as shit in that movie.
Yeah,
God, I
I
hated
mean,
her.
that's fair enough. That high pitched voice was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Annabeth,
Can I get one of those cookies?
we're almost
They're
done.
cooling.
That's just the first round.
We're almost done. Yeah.
Ah, fine. All right, let's get through
Yeah,
this.
you don't get cookies till the end
Guys,
of the round.
So
Damn.
we need a tiebreaker, though.
No, he gave you
I'm
nine.
so excited for a tiebreaker.
Yeah, they're
no.
Oh, yeah.
No. You put Tyler have one right now.
You're asking musical people to pick between a Western and the quintessential musical movie.
All right. What's next on the list, Mason? Nepotism at its finest.
So we have Kung Fu Panda 2 versus Wolf Walkers, a 7 versus a 10. This one will be potentially rough. I don't know.
Be. I don't know.
I'm going to go first on this one, guys. It's going to be Wolf Walkers.
Okay, do the pitch then.
Oh!
First, we gotta kill that wall!
I mean, listen, it's 2 animated movies. I like the animation more in Wolf Walkers. I like the story more in Wolf Walkers. I found it just much more charming and endearing than Kung Fu Panda 2. Kung Fu Panda 2 is a great antagonist, which is like its biggest strength. But
Gary Oldman, once again, Fifth Element.
great, Gary Oldman crushing it, man. Listen, Gary Oldman's great, but Wolf Walkers was a breath of fresh air for me coming out into the animated verse of things. So I want to give it to Wolf Walkers for that reason.
Okay, I'll do Kung Fu Panda 2. I'll try if anybody's actually not swayed at this point.
I actually don't know what these
So-
two
Yeah,
they liked them both.
So Kung Fu Panda,
They're both good.
it could easily. DreamWorks does such a good job of when they do their sequels, they're for a reason. Like it's never like a Pixar kind of cash grab like Cars 2 or something like that.
Cars 3 was dark though, right?
I never watched it. Was it worth it?
And I didn't, but the trailer looked really dark.
Yeah, I don't know. I may have to watch that one. But Kung Fu Panda 2, it fits into that pantheon of DreamWorks movies of a sequel being totally warranted and very, very good. Wolfwalkers, for as good as it was, and the animation being as different as it is, and being a very refreshing, Kung Fu Panda 2 still takes the CG animation and uses it to its strengths, and also has a super awesome low moment and a super awesome high moment, because when he gets blasted or whatever, and the lady's like, think about your past and use that to your advantage, and it has that awesome montage that goes through his past and shows what he's been through. And then at the end of the movie, when like everybody's taken out and he's using that new technology, and he has that awesome moment with the cannonball where he like turns it on him.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just such an awesome high moment where Wolfwalkers I feel like is just a steady kind of pace the whole time. Again, the animation is beautiful, but I don't think that is enough for me to give it the nod over Kung Fu Panda 2.
I have a similar thought on it too, where Wolfwalkers tells a really enjoyable story. The animation is great. Like all the fluid movement of the wolves and like just the leaves and everything and the way
the
that
music
they
video
move.
in the middle of the song.
The music video, sure.
Yeah. I mean, Your Name does it too, and we love that movie.
Yeah, we do.
But the problem with Wolfwalkers is our dad.
Yes. It's the only bad part.
how
Sean
much
Bean does kind of suck in this
Sean
movie.
Bean should have done what he did in so many other things that he's been in and died. If he had just died, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
But
it's a kids
instead,
movie.
he continued
Fuck them
to
kids.
just completely railroad over his daughter, and it annoyed me too much.
It's super
Yeah.
annoying.
I think Kung Fu Panda 2 is just better for the fact that Wolfwalkers was too flawed.
Yeah, I'll give it to Kung Fu Panda 2. The only qualm in Wolfwalkers is the dad, which to me isn't that bad. He was just a little bit too incompetent. I mean, like you could be a little bit resistant,
He was
at the
completely
beginning.
Yeah.
incompetent and totally resistant to his daughter.
Yes.
Never even
like
once
all
tried
the
to
way
give her a
through.
benefit
At the
of the doubt.
beginning,
Never.
that's fine. You could, silly child.
And it's
you
the
know,
only
going,
person
but-
in his life. Like,
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
wife is dead.
Yeah.
She's
Listen
the
to your
only-
child, Sean Bean. Like, it's not so hard.
It's just grating
It's
after
not
a
to
point.
take
Should've
away
got beheaded.
from like the dream
Yeah, that would've been
parts
awesome.
where like whenever she actually was a wolf and like the outline of the faces and
I mean,
I loved that.
Again, as an artistic piece,
Yeah,
It's way
Wolfwalkers.
better.
Wolfwalkers definitely wins in that regard.
Yeah.
But as a movie overall, I think
Yeah.
Kung Fu Panda 2 still does more and justifies his existence a little bit more.
I'm upset by that.
all right,
Okay.
our last matchup for the
Hell yeah.
video here.
So we have a 2-seed versus a 15-seed.
Which is which,
We'll let
Mason?
you figure it out. It's V for Vendetta versus Remember Me.
Oh,
Oh.
wait, we have one other only 10 here.
Oh yeah, we do.
With
Yeah.
Nathan.
Hell
Nathan
yeah.
gave
We got a
this
couple
10.
nines though
Yeah.
in here too.
Some strong.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so please, Nathan, do us the pitch.
V for Vendetta is a perfect movie.
Okay. He's gone.
Well, I mean, what more could you want? It's extremely anti-government. It's like if
It's
somebody,
everything, mate.
Yeah.
it's like if somebody was reading 1984 and wanted to somehow make a hero in the story of 1984 that tries to topple the corrupt government.
Very accurate.
That's
your pitch?
Yeah.
And
It's just anti-government?
Yeah, and it's done in spectacular fashion.
There we go. We're getting a little movie talk here.
There's so much just explosions and fire, but it's not even so much about that. It tells a very complex story.
Yes, it
I was
does.
about to say, you're trying to appeal to the Transformers fans. Let me get us back on board with the fact that Hugo Weaving's performance behind a mask while being able to portray all those emotions, there are so many times I'm like, is that mask changing expressions? Because, like
a Deadpool mask.
yeah,
a
like,
Spider-Man
I
mask.
truly believe that, like, you know, Hugo does so much, like, acting through that mask and through the perspective and bringing that emotion in. And the biggest thing for me with this, on going back, like, I give this a very good score. It's almost a 10 for me. It's definitely my top 10 favorite films.
Wow.
Is that, I know, I fucking love
I didn't know that.
I had to think about it, but I was thinking
I gotta
score-wise,
change
and I'm
my
like,
bracket.
it's high, man. Because V for Vendetta, like, for a 2005 comic book movie, if you want to call it for technically what it is,
I mean,
like,
yeah,
it has
fair.
crazy staying power. The performances are all solid.
Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman was great in it, and it hasn't like, I thought I was going to come back to this and grade it lower because I thought it was going to age or it was going to be like a little bit more campy or something. It isn't. It's great. Like, it takes itself perfectly serious.
Honestly, that was my expectation too. Whenever I picked for us to watch it, I was like, I feel like this one is gonna be one of my highest ones, but I don't know if I'm gonna find myself looking and being like, of course, teenage me would have loved this.
Of course,
Yeah,
right.
of course.
That was
not as
exactly. Both of our thoughts
and,
were on
and that. I mean, with the Matrix, that ended up being more of an upset for me, where it's just like, oh, this doesn't hold up as well as I thought it did.
So it's funny that you mentioned The Matrix. Whenever we had that review, I had mentioned that what it did for movies past that was phenomenal. The slow motion, the crazy effects, the everything wanted to be The Matrix for a solid half decade.
Mm-hmm.
This was one of them. V for Vendetta was this mimicking slow motion at certain times, like silly camera pans around, like does slow motion. All of the V words.
I don't blame him for Remember Me, though. I mean, I also really enjoy Remember Me.
There's a lot of things in V for Vendetta that I could not get behind. I didn't like that she got, like, incarcerated, but it was actually just a cell that was connected to his house. Like,
that story.
Everything was just abrasive in this movie, and I understand that, like, the explosions and the message that it sends across. The very end is cool, where he just sends himself away on that train full of explosives. Like, that was awesome. Cool for that. But I had to sit through all the rest of it.
Hey, Mason, save the rest of your arguments for V for Vendetta because it's moving on. Because I'm 100% picking that up.
To be fair, Remember Me
Did you think that, like, the tiebreaker was going to help you?
No, but I didn't want to
hated
get
that movie.
I want to give credit where credit's due. Remember Me has the better explosion.
Oh my
the more
god.
memorable
Yes. Credit where credit's due. As great as the explosions are in V for Vendetta, Remember Me takes the cake on that.
Alright, that wraps up our first round.
We can go on.
Yes, it does.
And I think that that's going to be the end of this part.
It is. So we are still going to be moving forward. We're probably going to be sitting in this same arrangement, wearing the same clothes.
Maybe some cookie crumbs on us.
Maybe some cookie crumbs. Talking about this same bracket, but we're going to be moving on to the second round.
Fuck me, dude.
I'm not too totally sure when that's going to be uploaded. But if annotations are still a thing, you can click up here to do the it'll be over here.
Yeah.
To go to the previous video and over here to do the next video.
Yeah.
I don't know. We asked Nathan.
Oh man.
He did our Birdemic video. It's a masterpiece.
You know he's just gonna drop birds again right in this part.
Oh please, put them all around me. Give me Birdemic. I didn't get a chance to talk about it here because they don't know movies. They're not
Not
big
a
brain.
movie.
They don't like Foxcatcher, so they don't know anything about Birdemic.
Piece of shit movie. Go tune into our next video. We'll be right back, guys.
Bye.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
Guess we'll just end it like that.